guys, it's me Armaan and I'm in front of the Colosseum. This is going to be my video in Rome, and I will be talking about gladiators and the fall of Rome. Before we start, I just want to say the Emperor Commodus lived from 161 to 192 AD, and his father lived from 121 to 190 AD. Okay, let's get started. So first up, we have, the gladiators. They fought in this arena, which is called the Colosseum, but was originally called the Flavian Amphitheater because it was created by one of the members of the Flavian dynasty. And the Colosseum is actually its nickname given to it because it had a colossus statue of one of the worst emperors in Rome, Nero, who I talked about in my previous video. There are all different kinds of gladiators. Like there were Pupillarius, heavily armed gladiators, Scupularius and Samnite gladiators, who fought using a material called Samnite. There were Parmilarius, who fought using whips called Parma. And also there were Liquirius and Restiarius, who fought using a net and trident and didn't have much armor. The Liquirius, though, used a lasso instead of a net. Then we have the Retiarius, was used to fight people like provocators and secutors, who had soft helmets and were pretty heavily armored. There were also Thraics, who were based on Thracians, Hoplomachus, named after the Greek Hoplomax, Diplomachiuses, named after who were very lithe and used 2 knives, and Murmillo. Murmillo were heavily armored fighters with large swords and shields. Spartacus, one of the most famous gladiators, was a Murmillo, and he was a slave from Gaul because he originally was from Bulgaria, but he deserted and was taken back. And so basically Spartacus, he just got fed up with all this slave and gladiator work, so he decided to flee. And he was chased by small-time generals like Claudius Glaber and Viserius, who he defeated by scaling down a mountain using a rope of vines and attacking Vesperius in his bath. So in a battle against 2 legions, his Crixus, his lieutenant, lost his life, which is kind of sad. And Spartacus was killed by the wealthiest person in Rome, Marcus Crassus. But it's not Marcus Crassus' name that is remembered, but Spartacus, whose name is synonymous with freedom. Now let's move on to the second part, the fall. Also, there were Vestari and Equisarius. Vestari fought animals, and Equisarius rode on horses. So now the fall of Rome. There were several enemies of Rome, like King Pyrrhus of Greece and Archimedes from Greece. Pyrrhus fought the Romans when it was just a small area, before it became the superpower that it was. So, and then there was also Archimedes, a genius inventor. So, another enemy is Mithrandas, or the Poison King, who developed an immunity to poisons. And while Rome was fighting in wars, he was taking down a few generals. He was eventually killed by Pompey. So another one is Vercingetorix, who poisoned and took down cities by using poisoning crops and wells and stuff. And there was also Boudica, and her name, not Boudica. She was part of a tribe, and she gathered an army after her daughters were severely attacked by the Romans. So number 5, there's even an Assyrian dude. Not Assyrian, Sumerian guy. He was from places like Sumer. he was from what Sumeria was, and he called himself the King of Kings, and was a pretty. And also there were Bestari who fought animals, Beastari, and Equusarius who rode horses. Now let's get to the fall of Rome. You see, Rome was standing really strong. It faced enemies like Greeks, like King Pyrrhus and Archimedes, different Germanic tribes, even like a Sumerian kind of group. But they stayed strong. But soon, around the 4th century AD, they were threatened by. Also, there were Beastari who fought animals, and Equusarius who rode horses. So those were the 2 extra gladiators. So, and now we have the fall of Rome. You see, Rome was standing pretty strong. It stood attacks from Germanic tribes, different kingdoms like Greece, and even a Sumerian kind of guy who called himself the King of Kings. But the fall of Rome basically happened around the time when, you see, there were a couple of financial problems, and there were border disputes with the guards that opened up to different tribes like the Franks, Visigoths, Ostrogoths, and the Huns to invade. So they managed to distract the Huns by this Pope actually convincing Attila to get married, in which he actually not sadly, died after that. But all the other tribes were invading, and it was starting to decline. So there were a few Christian emperors and all who withstood all this chaos, but it wasn't enough to stand when Odoacer, Odoacer stormed into Rome and murdered the 16-year-old emperor Romulus Augustus, who is ironically named after Romulus, the first king of Rome, and Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. That was the fall of the great empire and the world's first superpower, that is Rome. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and make sure to give a like or dislike. See, the emperor would do this or this if he wanted people to live or die. So you can give me a like if you like my thing, or a dislike if you don't like it. See you later. Before you tell me what you think, I have 3 more facts. 1, there were gladiators who fought in funerals. It's crazy, right? They were called bustuarius. 2, one of the greatest enemies of Rome was probably Hannibal, who was from Carthage, Africa. He lived from 247 to 183 BC. And 3, the reason part of this Colosseum is so chipped off is because it was originally created from marble, and that part was ravaged in the Middle Ages. Okay, now you can do what you want to do in the comments and stuff. See ya!